Hi everyone, so today I'm making 1% phenytoin ointment. I'm making 80 grams of it. And as you're seeing in the video, I have 8 capsules and I'm currently just opening up the capsules to get the powder that I'll be working with today. So what I'm doing is just pulling apart the capsules and emptying out the content onto my tile that I have sanitized using 70% alcohol, and I have also prepped my base, which will be petrolatum today, to make my ointment. So here we go. Alright, so what you see me doing here is just using my spatula just to double check my powder, just to make sure there's no clumps or lumps in there as we're about to start making our ointment. Alright, so I'm reaching now for my petroleum, and I'm just going to use that and I'm just transferring it there from my grease paper onto the tile, and then yep, just making sure that I get every bits of it from the grease paper. Yep. And now what I'm going to do is try to incorporate a small amount with my powder, and we call this in pharmacy geometric dilution, where you take a small amount of your base, in this case is the petroleum, and I'm incorporating that with my powder just to make sure that I have a nice and smooth mixture, able to incorporate all my active, which would be my phenytoin in this scenario, just to make sure that I have all my active evenly distributed. Alright, so what I'm using is the figure 8 technique in incorporating my active, again, which is my phenytoin, into my base, my petroleum. And I'm moving quickly. The video is a little bit fast forwarded because it actually takes a little time to make all of this. And again, as was mentioned, I'm using the figure 8 technique for geometric dilution. If you ask me what the figure 8 technique is, I would say what I'm basically doing is using the spatula and I'm moving it in the motion of the numeral 8. So it's basically making an 8 moving back and forth with my spatula, and in pharmacy we call that a figure 8 technique for mixing your ointments and cream. So I'm just basically cleaning up and going back with that technique over again. And again, we're doing this because we want even distribution of our active with our base. Okay, so after looking at my mixture thus far, I am comfortable with that it has been uniformly mixed. And so what I'm doing again with geometric dilution is just to take a little bit more of my base and incorporate that into my mixture. If you do it a little at a time, you will more likely to have a uniform mixture. So that's what I'm doing, just taking small portions of my base and including it into my mixture. All right, so here you see I've taken all my base and now I'm doing a mixture. You see me shaking my hand here. That is just because it's 80 grams of ointment. The ointment is very stiff, and so yes, to mix it all together, it takes a little effort. You have to apply a little effort to it, especially because, as you can see, I have a very large tile that I'm working with here. So I wasn't able to rinse my tile underneath warm water because in pharmacy school, that's what you're taught to do. You're taught to rinse your tile under warm water to just warm your tile a little bit so that when you're making an ointment, it's easier to glide on. And so if I had done that, then maybe I wouldn't be feeling all that pressure in my hand. But as you see, I'm taking a rest. I'm talking with my coworker. I was just explaining to him that it's kind of hard because of the pressure I'm feeling in my hand trying to mix out the ointment. And again, we were both agreeing that it's because I didn't get to warm the tile before But anyhow, I'm getting it done. I'm doing my even spread and taking breaks in between. But again, I'm going in. As you can see, look at that perfect figure eight technique. All right, so basically at this point, really finish. I'm just continuing to mix through. At this point, I think I'm just being a perfectionist in going over it over and over again. At some point, I will just be going through it just to see if everything is evenly distributed, look to see if any particles. Again, my powder was very light, so I'm not expecting to see any clumps, particles, or anything in it as I'm spreading it. Like you see, I'm doing there and just going through. I think I had a good mixture here. All right, so what I need to start doing now is just put everything together, just kind of scoop everything into a heap and start preparing to package my mixture into a jar. All right, so we're at the final step now where we are going to package our mixture into our container. Presentation is everything. So whenever you're packaging your mixture, whether it be a cream or ointment into your container, you want to first line the base of your container with your mixture, and we are doing this to reduce any um pockets. Are there being any spaces or bubbles to the side or to the bottom of our container? I'm tapping just to get all the mixture down to the bottom of the container, and then I'm going to go in again just to line my container to reduce, just for uniformity, just for presentation. Presentation is everything when you're doing any form of pharmaceutical preparation. And so there I am and scrutinizing. I'm pleased with the the end results. I'm showing you that there is no pockets or um, bubbles in it. And so I'm just trying to get everything now into my container. All right, I don't think everything can hold. There was just a little excess. So, but I'm trying to get as much into the container as is possible. All right, and it's cleaning up time. So I'm still tapping, trying to get as much in as possible. And then I should be doing some cleaning up, sanitizing, and voila, that's you. Alright, so at this point I'm finished. I just want to thank you guys for following along with me, making phenytoin ointment 1%. I made 80 grams of it. It was fun. I had fun making it. At this point, I'm just being extra. I should be finishing up with my packaging and sanitizing. What you would do is just clean up using, what I'm using here is just napkins to clean up. And then you cover and you spray with your 70% alcohol just to clean up your container and affix your label to send out to the patient. Bye.